wasn't knowing he was a son that was wrong. It wasn't knowing that he had an inheritance was wrong. It was the attitude by which he approached his father that was wrong. In other words, his approach to his father was just simply to get personal gain. He was in relationship without a relationship. Yeah, I didn't stutter. I knew what I just said. He understood, I'm a son. He had a relationship. But his relationship was not based upon a desire for dad. It was based upon a desire for what dad could give him. Give me what's mine. Give me, give me, give me. You know, have you ever known people that the only time they ever came around is when they wanted something? We've had people come to the church, and you knew when they walked in the door, all they wanted was a handout. They came in with a different story every time. But they always had the same request of what they wanted. I don't know about you, but I get a little weary when the only time people ever take time to talk to me is when they want something. You know what that is? That's taking advantage of a relationship. You know, boys, our boys, my wife and I, our two sons, they ran off to college, you know, went together. And boys, girls too. I don't mean to eliminate the girls, but, you know, usually college means I need money. And so because they knew I was dad, you remember when your kids were small and they'd go to the store with you and they wanted something? So I don't have money. Just write a check. You know, they just expect it. You know, just write a check. Well, I don't know what age they learn that or they get through that. It seems like they don't know that, and they don't know that it don't work quite that way until they end up getting married. And they're out of the house, and then they realize to write a check, you got to have something in the bank. But they, you know, they knew I'm dad, and all dads are rich. You know that. And so, when they need something, they come knocking. They ring the phone, you know, and especially college time. Hey, Dad, okay, let's get to the point. You know. And when that happens a lot, you get gun shy. Okay? And you even can begin to get a little tight-fisted. And you start asking a lot of questions. Now, what did you say you need that for? Explain that to me again. You're going to do what with it? What's the breakdown now? You need 10. Okay, what is exact? And really what you're doing is there's just a little bit of mistrust there. I know none of you have ever felt that way about anybody that's come approaching you, but you know. And so, one day my wife and I were sitting in the living room, and we're watching, or just sitting there. It was late at night, actually. We were getting ready to go to bed, and we saw lights come in the driveway, car lights. I thought, man, somebody's pulled in the driveway. And I got up and looked out. Here was the boys. They were about 5 hours away, and we didn't know they were coming home. And my first thought was, they need something. And it's usually green. And so they come into the door. We met them in the door, and, you know, we did our hugs and our embraces and, you know, put on the happy face. And then I popped the question. So what are you guys doing home? Oh, Dad, we just missed you and Mom. We just wanted to come home and be with you. What do you need? I'm serious. When they said that, it melted me. And they really didn't come home wanting anything. We gave them stuff just because. There was something that touched my heart when they said, we just missed you. We want to spend time with you. Do you know how God must feel when the only time we bother praying is when something happens or we've got some need that we perceive we have? And we enter our prayer closet and we basically do nothing but beg Him for however long we're in there. And when we feel like we've convinced Him what He needs to do, we just get Him walk out. Or worse yet, we just watch the clock the whole time. Pray 2 minutes. What time is it again? Just watch the clock. Just do my obligated duty. I can say I prayed an hour today. I had a man, felt so bad for this man. He's backslid today. Because he was under a leadership that was like a tyrant. And he was visiting us, and he came into my office, Bishop, just crying. He felt so ashamed. I said, what's the problem? He said, well, I really let my pastor down. I said, what do you mean you let your pastor down? He said, oh, he really rebuked his heart, and I deserved every bit of it. I said, what are you talking about? He said, well, yeah. I said, he wanted to know how many of us missed our hour of prayer this week. And he said, I had to stand up because there were 2 days. One day I missed it by 2 minutes, and another day I missed it by 1 minute. I couldn't lie. I didn't pray a whole hour. And I stood up, and he looked out and he said, and he pointed us out. He said, this is why we're not having revival. And he was shamed. I feel so sorry for people who have that concept about their God. That He's going to rebuke us and He's going to do something bad, or we've let God down because we didn't pray a full hour, or we didn't pray 3 hours, or we didn't keep our consistent pattern or routine.